There are many theories to explain the great unknown. Some people turn to science, others religion, and of course, there are those that just shove both aside and say that life as we know it just happened, although this theory turns us back to science in the end. Reference to Darwinism. Many different countries and races have had religion for as long as there have been recorded history, and in the more recent times of the intercontinental travel, there have been reports of black holes, places where boats and planes just disappear off the face of the earth. Those most famous being the Bermuda Triangle. No one knows why these places exist, or even how they exist, but there is one theory, spoken in little more than whispers due to its controversial subject matter. It is referred to by some as the God Theory. It is said that during the reign of King Henry VIII, 3 high-standing bishops, this was before the creation of the Church of England, were called into a private meeting. No one knows what was said during this meeting, with only the 4 men in the room. However, after the meeting concluded, the bishops were quickly taken abroad, a mysterious ship, and never seen again. According to one of the bishop's diaries, found in the late 1890s during the restoration of one of King Henry's manors, the king had been acting peculiarly in the months leading up to when they were called into the council of the king. He had been rambling in mass, talking about how God was man-made and how he would make a far better God than any that the Romans and the Hebrews had made. The bishop, who was also practicing medicine, took it as insanity setting in and ordered that the King Henry be bled to allow the demons causing his insanity to escape. After bleeding the king several times in the month, the king's rambling stopped and the bishop declared Henry sane. It was only a month later that the 3 bishops had disappeared. There are many differing theories as to what happened to these bishops. One was that Henry sent them to a harsh and savage land as a form of exile from the British Isles, and as punishment for speaking out against the head of state. Another is that the bishops were simply going back to Rome and assume similar roles in the Vatican. Then, of course, there's the God Theory. The God Theory states that the ship of the bishops boarded was a prisoner ship, a floating prison where convicts were forced to languish on the open sea as punishment for whatever crimes, imagined or real, the passengers may or may not have committed. On this ship, there were 6 convicts, 3 men and 3 women. Among the crew itself, there were a handful of sailors, 2 guards, the captain, and the bishops. The first stop was in fact Rome. While the ship waited in dock, the 3 bishops were taken to the Vatican City, where they were ushered into a meeting with Pope Leo X. This meeting was documented, although the scroll that it was documented on is close to destroyed. What can be read from the scroll, however, could change the way people think and look at religion forever. What remains of the scroll says, Sit autem tres veri isti in desolationem eod quod tribus insulis et refutere dominium Deum nostrum. Aenian sit amet est et salvandi omnes evidentium posteris et sciant non minus virtute omnipotentis. This translates to, let these 3 men travel to 3 desolate islands and attempt to disprove our Lord God. All evidence of this test is to be documented and saved so that future generations will not fail to know the power of the Almighty. This is when the 3 bishops go back to the ship and never again are seen. Everything from here is based purely on speculation, although with such conditions it would not surprise me if they were in fact true. It is believed that the bishops were dropped off to 3 differing islands, each with 1 male and 1 female prisoner. These islands were tropical in atmosphere and devoid of human life. It is hypothesized that each bishop on his own island then hypnotized their prisoners, effectively erasing their memories of any previous life. The bishops would then name the male Adam and the female Eve. The rest, as they say, is history. Some hypothesize that when Adam and Eve were hypnotized, that the hypnosis caused them to only be able to hear the bishop. Time would go on as usual, and left with no means to leave the island, a civilization was born. Now, due to the hypnosis, it is theorized that when each pair of Adam and Eves had their children, the children could at first see the bishop, as well as hear him. But after constant insistence by their parents and constant ignorance from the bishops, any children born would no longer see him, just hear him if he chose to speak as God. Time passed, and obviously the bishops would die. They of course were only human. Whether the new race of humans were able to see his body when he died, no one knows. But it is theorized that as time went by, that the prisoners, or Adam and Eves, became things of myth, or even worshipped as the forebears of the human race. It is said stories were written in songs. Some would have supposedly conversed with their god, and thus a religion was born. Of course, no one has heard from these people, and if they have met them, they have not returned from their encounters, and this is where the theory of the triangles comes from. Think of the stories you hear of alien encounters. They tend to fly strange airships, or in some instances, come from the water itself, correct? Well, what if, for example, when these people were left to fend for themselves on these islands, they didn't, for example, evolve? In some way, they were still human, but had certain characteristics changing them, which would transform them into a new form of the human race. And if they were to see a civilized human, imagine what they would think. Time traveler? Perhaps. Alien or demonic being? Most likely. Now maybe, when these people saw the race set up by King Henry VIII, they chose to join them. And why not? They were most likely a peaceful and relaxed race. Or maybe, when the natives saw the civilized people and equipment, they attacked, seeing the civilized race as some sort of threat. Some people can travel through these triangles unharmed, coming clean through them. Others disappear forever. And of course there are reports of islands being seen in the distance, usually uncharted, yet they never do get charted. In conclusion, with keeping this in mind, including the brief mention of alien encounters, is it possible that the world's religions were created by a superior alien race? Keep in mind, in the Bible it is said that God made us in His image. Well, why not? Don't give it too much thought on that account, though. After all, it's only a theory.